Hey everyone, we go live on there, so I had to switch over to this one. So hopefully you guys find it over here. But how's all my friends doing? It's good to see all you guys. It's been a while. Hey guys, I see you're making your way over here. Thank you for being patient. I wasn't sure how to click on live over there. For some reason, it wasn't letting me. But it's good to be with you guys here on this Friday night. It's been a while. Let me see who we got here. I'm on my phone because my computer's been giving me problems, so I'm just out here on my phone tonight, just enjoying this beautiful weather. But I'm gonna see if I can see who's here. Glam Dolly, Nikki, Soger, Tony Shields, Soul Survivor, Nancy Penny, Cindy Lee, Maui Girl, all my old friends, and I see some new ones. Mary T. Hey, Uncle Jed. Anyways, guys, it's good to be with you. I want to show you where I'm at real quick before we get into the discussion here tonight. And by the way, this is going to be probably the most casual live that I've ever done. And so it's not gonna, I hope you guys aren't disappointed. It's not going to be anything real fancy, but let me turn this camera around real quick. And if anybody can guess what city I'm in, I got a prize for you. We don't really have any merch or anything like that anymore, so so I can't give away shirts or anything, but I'll have some kind of a prize for you. Anyway, I see people that are starting to ask about Barry. Santa Fe, that's a good guess. It's not Santa Fe though. I'll give you a hint. I'm at 7,000 feet. Albuquerque, New Orleans. Oh, it does kind of look like New Orleans, huh? Good guess, Mountain Jam. Colorado Springs. No, 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 no. 7,000 feet. That's your... Anyway, guys, I hope everybody's doing good. It's really good to be back with you. It's been a crazy journey, as many of you know. I don't really want to get into all the specifics of the whole thing, but it's been a wild ride. And those of you that have been on this roller coaster with us since day one, or you know, from the beginning, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But you know, it's good to take a break every now and then, but it's really nice to join back with my friends here on this Friday night. But maybe we can just have a little quick discussion about some of the proceedings that happened today with Barry Morphew, Chaffee County, with Patrick Murphy as the judge. I know there's a lot of speculation out there. There always is in cases like this, that, you know, Barry might have ties to the judge and that he might be friends with, you know, people that are high up and stuff like that. But I truly don't really believe all that, guys. And if you do, I mean, that's your own personal opinion. But I thought the court proceedings went very well today. They went about like I expected them to. But honestly, I was kind of a 50-50 on whether or not they were going to, you know, take Barry to trial. What about you guys? ABD with the German Shepherd, are you back? What do you guys think? Ask me some questions and we'll just kind of go through some of these. I think it's a great thing that they're bringing Barry to trial, obviously. But I don't think that they should let him out on bail. I think that's a really bad idea. And I just think, you know, you guys that know Barry the way that I do, that have followed this case for a long time, you know what he's capable of, and he's pretty slippery. He may disappear. You know, he may do something else crazy. Who knows, man? He's not all there right now. So I think letting him out on bail is a very bad idea. But I mean, honestly, with the evidence being mostly circumstantial, it's kind of what I expected, though. You know, and again, I didn't think that it was going to be real cut and dry on whether or not he was going to go to trial. But after listening to Judge Murphy, it sounded like, you know, he was pretty adamant that that needed to take place. So Trisha Adams, I wish you would do more lives. Thank you. You know what, guys, I may have to start doing them every once in a while, and so we can just keep in touch. But Gulf Coast Girl, that's a mouthful. Thank you for that comment. Yeah, he is a flight risk, and I think more than that, though, because he is going to have that ankle monitor and stuff like that. A lot of eyeballs on him in Salida. I think we got to worry more about like what this guy's capable of doing. I mean, he owns a lot of guns. He reminds me, it's getting to the point now where it reminds me a lot of the Larry Malete case out in San Diego, where they had to go in and take Larry's guns from him for a while, you know, and it might not be a bad idea to do that to Barry. I'm just looking at the comments here. Let me see. Robin Brown, you're a rock star. Thank you so much, Robin. Okay, where would he have access to the 500 grand? Barry's got the money. You know, you guys know that. It's probably Suzanne's money, most of it, but he's got the money. And there's no doubt in my mind, come Monday, he's going to be skating on out of there. That's my opinion. But again, guys, you know, if you don't have the evidence, you don't have the evidence, and you know, there just wasn't enough to hold him without bail. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that. You know, going to trial, there's not a lot of evidence, but you know, I've seen it before. There was a case out here in Arizona. Actually, it involved one of my former students, actually. She was a basketball player for the high school that I was working at the time. Her name's Cassie. And if you guys want to look that case up, they actually did a 48 hours, like a dateline and stuff on it. Her name's Cassie Farrington. Look that case up. That happened in Silver City, New Mexico. And her husband was a former police officer for the city of Silver City, New Mexico. And he was indicted for her murder, and he was convicted. And it was a lot like Barry's case in terms of not having a lot of evidence, not having they did have the body. That may be the big difference, but he drowned her in the bathtub, but they didn't have a lot of evidence in that one. And also, if you think about the Patrick Frazee case too, they didn't have a lot of evidence. They didn't have a body. They did have the one powerful witness, but I still think we can get a conviction. What do you guys think? So good to see you, Gulf Coast. You're in Santa Fe or New Mexico? No, I'm actually in Arizona, 7,000 feet. Flagstaff, Yvonne Walker, you got it. Got it, Yvonne. I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona. Anybody been here by the show of hands? Love you. I'm not sure what's going on with the connection, but can you guys still see me and hear me okay? Hello from Indiana. Yeah, that case, so I see people commenting about that case I mentioned with Cassie Farrington, and that was an extremely sad case. They were going through a divorce. She was a young mother, and I guess he was jealous, and I guess she started dating somebody else, and he found out, and he came over one night and apparently strangled her and put her in the bathtub and left the water running. You guys can find it. I think it's either a Dateline or a 48 Hours. So anyway, yeah, I thought the proceedings today were very good. You know, I am worried, just like a lot of you are, that, you know, about Barry posting bail and getting out, and who knows what's going to happen from there. But we're going to have to take it day to day. But you know, I talked to a lot of Barry's friends from Indiana. You guys will remember Mark. Mark, if you're in here, hi. I don't know if you're here. I haven't talked to Mark in a long time, but you know, these people, these acquaintances, these friends from Indiana, they all were in, you know, a consensus that Barry wouldn't be taken alive, you know, and that's one of the reasons why the FBI and CBI swooped in and grabbed him the way they did as he was leaving the gym. They did it kind of like unexpectedly. And, you know, they don't think Barry would be taken alive. And I think, you know, to release him, they're taking a big chance. They're taking a big risk. It's nice to see you again, Spirit's Heart. I grew up not too far from Silver City. That's awesome. Any updates on Cordova? No, there's not. The last time I talked to Alicia Cordova, she told me that by May of this year, which already came and went, obviously, that they were going to have a suspect in custody, and that didn't happen. So I don't know if the Gilbert Police Department is just kind of feeding her a line of bull or what's going on. I haven't checked with Alicia in a long time, but as far as I know, there are no updates on the Nick Cordova case, unfortunately. So all of Barry's assets should be frozen. Absolutely. I agree with that. Please be safe, Tyson. Love and miss you lots. Debbie Prince. Love and miss you too, Debbie. We have all missed you. I've missed you guys too. This whole thing got crazy, man. You know, I told you, if you guys have followed this from the beginning, I told you on day one that Barry and George Davis and those guys, they were after me. They were after me right in the very beginning when I ran into Barry. And I took off and I went back down to Pagosa Springs, which is, I don't know, probably an hour and a half from Salida, maybe 2 hours, something like that. But those guys, once I posted that video and Plunder picked it up and ran with it, those guys were after me. And I know that they're dangerous. I don't know if George Davis has a role in this. I don't know what his role is, if he has one. But I don't trust that guy. I don't trust anybody associated with Barry. When I left there in Pagosa Springs, I came right here to Flagstaff and started processing all this information. But I started getting threats right out of the gates. You know, I don't know who they were from. They were all out-of-state numbers, but they were threatening me and my kids and everything else. It was pretty crazy right from the very beginning. So, you know, but I mean, when you swim with the sharks, you got to expect that stuff, you know. But my point is, it's been a crazy ride, guys. We've had a lot of ups and downs and twists and turns, and we don't have this guy yet. We don't have Barry yet. We still got a lot of work to do here. me see what you guys are asking here, because I start rambling on. And Mama Bear, I love Flagstaff. Barry is dangerous. Yeah, Barry is dangerous. Barry is very dangerous. And he's got those girls completely brainwashed. And man, I just feel bad for those girls. I always have. And it just seems like they're going to stand behind him 100% the whole way. And, you know, it's going to be very unfortunate that they're probably eventually going to be without their mom and their dad. So, but I want to give kudos to Lauren Scharf. I don't know if she's in here, probably not, but I've been following her coverage on the case. She's been relentless. Great coverage, Lauren, great job. I remember when Lauren and I got together in Salida, we actually went to Barry's house when he was still living there, and she drove right up into the driveway, and we were in the Fox 21 car, the news station car, and I was slumped down all the way in the passenger seat. I was practically laying on the floorboard because she was relentless, man. She's a go-getter. And she drove right up in his driveway and went and knocked on his door, talked to him that day while I was slumped down in the floorboard. So I've had respect for Lauren since day one, and so kudos to her. I want to say hello to Mike King from Profiling Evil. He's a good friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a while. I want to say hi to Linda from It's a Crime. I want to say hi to Plunder. Just a shout out to a few of my fellow creators, but I mostly want to say hello to all you guys, man. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your undying support, for your concern, for your friendship. I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good. Like I said, I just needed a little break. I'm going through some stuff on a personal level that many of you guys don't know about, and I don't want you to know about, but I got a lot on my plate besides the true crime community. We've got a lot of things going on here in our country. As many of you know, I'm not going to get into politics, but you know, we got a lot going on, all of us. But I think about you guys every single day, and I've been waiting to get on here and do a live and see who's still hanging on, who's still here with me. So, Teresa Fountain, good to see you here tonight. Thank you. Hold on one sec, guys. So I'm grabbing my dinner over here tonight. For those of you that are just joining us, I want to show you the view we got here. For those of you that are coming in late, we are in Flagstaff, Arizona, 7,000 feet, jacket weather. It's very beautiful up here. This is where I went to school. It's where I went to college, the university here, Northern Arizona University. I got a bachelor's degree in education, and I also have a master's degree in educational leadership. Got it right here down the road, and I've always loved Flagstaff. Beautiful weather, 4 seasons. If you guys ever get a chance, come here. All right, let's look at some of your questions here real quick. Leah Vogel, thank you for being here. Justice for Suzanne, shortcake, absolutely. The Summer Wells case, I haven't followed it too closely. I mean, it's all over in the news, and I've kind of skimmed over it a little bit, but that case looks very suspicious to me. Looks like another one of those situations where the parents might be involved. They seem like they're kind of like off the rocker a little bit. But like I said, without knowing a lot of the details and the ins and outs of that case, I can't comment too much, but I pray for that little girl. How about the Gabby, what's her last name? Gabby Petito? There you go. Zoe Valentine, you're right on cue. Gabby Petito. Yes, okay, so I've been following that case the last few days like everybody else has. It's been all over the news. But do you guys find it interesting that all of these cases, not all of them, but a lot of them have like a Colorado connection? And in this case with Gabby, they went to the Great Sand Dunes. Does anybody remember who else went to the sand dunes? Right outside of Alamosa, Colorado, which I've been to many times. That's actually where that guy, remember Psycho, who killed all those people? That's where he's at. But the Great Sand Dunes, who else went there? Anybody know? Who took their mistress there? Chris Watts. There you go, Denise. You're right. Chris Watts. Chris Watts took his mistress to the Great Sand Dunes. I don't know, man. I just think it's weird. It's like all these people end up going to the Great Sand Dunes, and how do you say it? Zapata Falls or Zapata? And anyway, that's a bizarre case, this Gabby case. I don't understand why the boyfriend, Laundry, Brian, I think is his name, why is he not talking? That's really weird. I mean, he should at least be telling Gabby's parents what happened and where she got left or whatever. Now, the fact that he's not doing that, to me, screams guilt. I mean, doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. Chris Watts, yes. Yeah, I think this Brian Landry or whatever his name is, this guy, he's hiding a lot. He knows a lot. And what's weird though is there's some sort of a possible connection with a double homicide that happened in Moab, Utah, with a couple that was there. You guys, I'm sure you guys already know this, but they were at a campground like the same night, like everybody was at Woody's Tavern or Woody's Bar or something like that in downtown Moab. And then this couple left and went back to their campground. Well, they got murdered. And it kind of reminded me of the Delphi case with those two girls. In a way. I think these here in Moab, they were shot though. So anyway, they're saying there might be some sort of a connection there, but this is really a bizarre case. Now, what I would like to do is, and if anybody wants to support me in this, I'm not asking for any donations or anything like that. I'm totally like not monetized anymore. But if I'm thinking about traveling to Moab, Utah, to go up there and join the search, because I think that's where her dad and her stepdad, Gabby's, is going to end up next. They're going to end up in Moab. Because I don't think they're going to find anything up there in Wyoming in the Grand Teton Mountains. I don't think she was there. I think they're going to shift their attention back to Moab. What do you guys think? But if you guys want to throw in for some gas money, and I'll drive to Moab, and I'll spend a week there, and I'll put my boots on the ground and see what we can turn up in that Gabby case. I think that'd be a lot of fun for all of us. But don't feel obligated. But yeah, that'd be a cool thing to do. Why don't you guys ask me some questions? What's been going on with all you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, my Venmo is Tyson Draper 2. I think it's just Tyson Draper with the number 2. But don't send anything because it may go to the wrong person. I've had that happen before. Check with me first. You guys that have my email, you can check with me, or if you have my phone number, you can check with me there too. I've had law enforcement encourage me to change my phone number, but I've left it the same. And I'll tell you why, guys. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you a little personal secret tonight. The reason I haven't changed my phone number is because I have a daughter in Colorado who is 5 years old that I haven't seen in 4 years. And I keep hoping that someday that phone rings and it's her on the other end. So I keep my phone number the same for that reason. Even though law enforcement has told me that I'm taking a big chance. But I don't care because I want, yes, Jersey. I want her to call me one of these days. But that's a story for another time. So what do you guys think about Barry going to trial? I mean, for me, even like, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, like right down to the last second, I was refreshing, like I was on Lauren Scharf's Twitter and I was refreshing it over and over, and I was nervous. I thought Barry was going to walk. In fact, it got a little confusing there for a minute, and I thought he did walk. So if you guys like saw me post something like that said Barry got off for like 5 minutes, that's why, because it was kind of confusing there. Some of Lauren's texts kind of confused me, but anyway, he's going to trial, but he's going to bail out on Monday, which to me is a huge concern, and I'm sure it's a huge concern to everybody that's following this case. Everybody that knows anything about Barry knows that he's a loose cannon, man. I don't know if he's as bad as Larry Malete in San Diego. That guy, when I was there in San Diego, I was right up behind his house, and I'm gonna tell you, I was more freaked out being up by Larry Malete's than I ever was by Barry. But they're both in the same category. Yeah, Malete's pure evil. You know, when I was out there in July, I think it was, the police came and confiscated Maya's Jeep. I didn't get a chance to get it on video, but I was actually there when that happened. So he's a person of interest now, Larry Malete. He's guilty, in my opinion. Tom Sharkey, Larry Malete, Barry Morphew. Of course, Letitia Stout, she's already behind bars. Yeah, all these people are in the same category. I heard Brian is a licensed gun carrier and ballistics. You talking about Brian Laundrie? Yes, Vallow and Daybell. That has connections right here to Arizona. Sandra Chapman, Brian Laundrie is guilty. Yes, I think so too. I mean, honestly, guys, I know, because I've been around like the younger generation a lot, being a teacher and an educator over the years, and I know their line of thinking is totally different than ours a lot of the times, and they do things differently. But his behavior is so suspect. I mean, This guy is engaged to Gabby. He supposedly loves her. You know, they're like the perfect little couple. They're traveling around in this van, going to all these different places. Everything looks totally normal. But his behavior is so weird. Like, you would think that he has a good relationship with her parents, with her siblings, that he would say, hey, this is what happened. Like, we were in Moab, or we were in Wyoming or whatever, and we got into an argument, and she went to go sleep in a van, and I went to go sleep in a hotel, and when I woke up in the morning, she was gone. I couldn't find her anywhere, or whatever. I'm just making this up, but whatever it is, he would be right there telling the family. But he's not. He's hired a lawyer. He's hiding out. Doesn't look good. Well, what's happening, guys, is because I'm on my phone, these comments are going by pretty fast. But if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and answer, or ask them now, and I'll answer them, because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to be on here with my battery. Okay, Brian says he hates people, antisocial. So, see, that's what I'm talking about. I've met a lot of the younger generation that's like that. And so, but again, I mean, in a situation like this, even if you're antisocial, you would think he would come out and at least tell law enforcement what happened and help the family. It's ridiculous. Have I heard Brian is missing? Brian is missing also? Oh wow, I didn't know that, guys. I hadn't heard that. I was reading the news earlier, but I didn't see that. He's gone, huh? On the run. Wow. That's crazy. FBI just went there. Wow. Wow, I guess you guys all knew what was going on. I didn't know. I was getting ready for this live, and I hadn't checked the news, so wow, that is crazy. Yeah, they're not going to find him alive, I don't think. Wow. I tell you what, guys, we live in a crazy world. I'm just reading all your comments, guys. I'm learning about this on the fly here. So, where do you think Suzanne is? Okay, I will still steer the conversation back to Suzanne real quick. If you guys see that video that I posted today, so I spent the better part of the afternoon back in July poking around the Morphew house, and I noticed that there were probably at least 100 holes that had been dug all over the west side of the property. And they were just random. They were in random spots. And so what I concluded was that it must have been law enforcement, you know, taking their dogs around. And if they had a hit, they would probably dig right there. But it looked like it was done with a machine, like a backhoe or a bobcat or something like that. So I don't know, law enforcement probably took some equipment out there. But so there was holes all over. There was that burn spot that was right next to the creek. And the reason I said I thought that maybe that's where Barry carried out his sinister acts, I can't say too much, I got people sitting next to me here, but because I could see where somebody had tied some rope or some cable or something up in the trees. The bark had been disturbed. I actually got down on my hands and knees and tried to see if I could find any particles of bone or teeth, excuse me, or anything like that. I was not able to. But what I found interesting is how close in proximity it was to that creek, because if somebody needed to wash off their hands or their tools or or whatever, it was right there. And I just thought, wow, I just kind of had like a mental image that I haven't been able to get out of my mind. So that's what I saw. I saw a bunch of slash piles, and I know they were probably built by Barry, because some of the newspaper that was tucked away, like crumpled up and put in the piles, they were dated back before, you know, when Barry still lived there. He had a little spot down there where he had a chair and a table down by the creek. It's kind of his little playground. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I still wonder what, like all of you do, what was he doing at all those garbage cans in Broomfield? What do you guys think of that? What was he throwing away? Cell phone evidence? Yeah, he went into like Men's Warehouse and bought a new shirt, threw his camouflage jacket away, tossing evidence. Denise, getting rid of evidence, limbs. You know, having been there in Barry's yard, like, I can't help but wonder if, you know, part of her was thrown into that creek. You know, I don't know what happened, but I wonder if a person or if law enforcement was to search that creek real good, and wherever, like if it flows into the Arkansas River or whatever it is, they could find some bone fragments or something. Man, wouldn't that be amazing if we could find Suzanne while Barry's waiting to go to trial? That'd be amazing. That'd be lights out then. When I went to Barry's house, I got some video. I should probably post it. I've been holding on to it, but there was a woman in Barry's house, and I knocked on the back door. You guys have all seen the pictures of the back porch. This is where Suzanne was laying when she was texting her lover, Jeff, the day that she went missing on May 9th. But I walked up there and I knocked on the sliding glass door, and this woman came to the door, but she couldn't open it. She was trying to get it open, but it wouldn't open. So she said, go around to the front. So I went around there and I had a good long conversation with her, probably about 30 minutes. She was telling me, first of all, she was the house cleaner. And she was telling me that when she cleaned it the first time, that she found all kinds of weird things, like stuff that Barry had left behind. She found a full broken glass under the refrigerator that somebody had just slammed down on the floor, and all the glass, instead of whoever broke it, instead of cleaning it up, they just pushed it all under the refrigerator. She found like some business cards that had Suzanne's name on them, but I guess Barry took everything that had his name on it and everything that had to do with him, but he left everything that had to do with Suzanne, he left it behind to throw in the trash. Like all of her business cards, some mail, stuff like that. She said he took like the coffee maker, but left like the pot. Just like really weird, like random stuff. So I tried to get her to let me come in the house, but she wouldn't let me. I even offered her $100, and I said, hey, if you'll let me do a walkthrough, I'll pay you $100 just to let me go through and just kind of see, you know, what it looks like or whatever. And she couldn't do it because there's cameras there, and the new owners, she had to text them and ask them, and they said no, they didn't want anybody in there. They said absolutely not, we're moving on past that. But I thought it was weird that she said there were cameras, because we all know that when Suzanne went missing, there were not only cameras on the outside, but there's cameras on the inside. And I asked her, I asked this lady that was cleaning, I said, is it the same security system that was here before when Suzanne lived here? And she said yes, but it was off that day. So I guess Barry shut it down. But she was very nice. She didn't want me to put her on camera, so I turned my camera off. But I did get a lot of video, some of me talking to her in the Morphew's front yard. The reason I wanted to get in was just to kind of show everybody, you know, what it looks like and see if we could find anything. I mean, you know, they said that door frame was broke. I wanted to look at all that kind of stuff, look for any kind of clues. If you guys remember the Patrick Frazee case, which was in Woodland Park, Colorado, it wasn't until Kelsey Barrett's mom and brother went over to her house and found blood droplets around the toilet, around the rim of the toilet. It wasn't until they did that the case was broke wide open after that. And so it just shows you how much law enforcement can miss and does miss. You know, it's crazy. So I wanted to go in and just kind of see what we could, just kind of look around and see what we could find. I'm just reading the comments here, guys. Yeah, Kelsey Barrett, what a terrible situation that is. Hey, love you too, Pearl. Thank you for that message. But listen, guys, stay in touch with me. I think my phone's getting ready to die here, but stay in touch with me. If you guys have my number, if you have my email address, I'll give you my email address. It's t_draper100@hotmail.com. And get in touch with me. And if you want to go along with me to Moab, I'm thinking about making a journey up to Moab, Utah to help look for Gabby and to kind of sink myself into that case a little bit. So not 100% sure yet, but if you guys feel like that's something that you would like to watch and be a part of, let me know. So, but as far as the Morphew case goes, guys, I'm glad that justice is being served. It's been a long year, and I'm glad that the wheels of justice are starting to turn, and that Barry Morphew is going to stand trial. We're not out of the woods yet. We got a long way to go before justice is truly served in this case. But I believe it can be. I believe that, you know, God's on our side, and the angels, and justice is going to be served in this case. So anyway, I want to tell you guys I love you. Appreciate you as always. Stay safe out there. We'll do this again soon, okay? You guys are amazing. Thank you for the love.